This call is being
Nothing.
recorded.
I'm laughing at the music that was just playing.
Oh, I love that song so much. Yeah, it's a banger. That's yeah, I'm so glad we could finally do this, and I really loved your notes. You were saying that you've been into astrology and you just started doing mini readings on
Yes, I
TikTok.
did. Yes, I did over TikTok, and I was able to gain a following pretty fast. I started last December.
That's so awesome.
Um, but for the time being, I'm in the middle of my Saturn square exact right now.
Right.
Um, and I'm like working long hours. So I just don't do the readings. I also work with dogs. Um, and
Knowing that
it
you're a whole alien god, by the way, is fascinating. Like I'm very excited. This is awesome. So you're
aliens know they're aliens.
every Aquarius to me is an alien, but you also have alien kind of like 2000, the year 2000, and anything after 95. I go crazy over because y'all are literally the future, especially you. Like you're at the hub of this next generational alien power, at least from 2000 to at least 2008 or 2012 before Neptune went into Pisces. So that's
Yeah.
gangster. And seeing that you're on the ninth house doing astrology, you're literally living your purpose. Like you are the teacher of astrology. Just to make sure
Yeah.
we're clear on that right now. It's so amazing. Because I'm actually going to give you an article about celebrities with Aquarius MC.
Okay.
It blew my goddamn mind because, first of all, you and I both have Aquarius MC. It's just I'm a Taurus rising and you're an angel. You're a Gemini rising. And
Hell yeah.
so, right. And the reason why this is very pivotal is what I learned is, first of all, Saturn has been going through our 10th and Jupiter's going through our 10th. So you're evolving your career.
Mhm.
The reason why you blew up in TikTok is because Jupiter has been going through your MC to literally expand your social media awareness in Aquarius. You're not going
Yep.
to be working this job anymore. Like by the time it goes into Pisces, everything's going to change and you'll be able to do it either part-time or you'll be able to do what you're doing full-time. So you can look forward to that because Saturn is going to stabilize everything. And once again, I'm just really excited to share this news because, dude, your chart is ridiculous. This is insane. I've never really seen an Aquarius with this energy, and I look up to Aqua. But what I learned is that the Gemini risings with MC and Aquarius, first of all of us MC and Aquarius is we don't fall off. It blew my mind. Like I looked at the
Fixed
celebrity.
sign. Fixed sign.
Seriously, thank you. I'm glad you. Well, of course, you know. Any reason I do with Aquarius, you already know.
Yeah.
Like I don't tell you anything you don't know. It's amazing. But like I looked at it and I realized not only are they one of a kind, not only have they been relevant forever, but like there will never be another one like them. And like they don't fall off. Will Smith, Dr. Dre, Miley Cyrus, Kristen Stewart, Pamela Anderson, Mick Jagger, Ashton Kutcher, you know what I mean? Drew
I love
Barry.
it.
Right. Like these are icons. You know what I mean? Like they
Yes.
they have always been famous and this is what you're stepping into because you literally just accomplished Jupiter in the 11th. Jupiter going through your 10th in Pisces is going to now change the experience of your career success now that you've ascended. And I love
Mhm.
knowing that Jupiter going through this uh raised your following and got you a million likes from last November, December.
I, yeah, I'm hoping it continues with Jupiter going into Pisces.
No, it will. So Jupiter going into Pisces is now going to manifest the ascension of your MC and it's going to change the experience. So basically you evolved your career, but you're going to experience the change and upgrade of that next year where you're going to be living your dream job because Neptune's in your 10th.
Mhm.
And that's where before it was difficult, as Gemini suns and risings, Neptune 10th house from us, we were unclear. It's like we knew the dream, but it's like, how do we make this work? We need a 9 to 5. Like, how do we make this work? And Neptune's like, you don't have to do anything. And we're like,
Yeah.
Pisces, that makes no sense. Like, what do you mean? And this was just the lesson to surrender. And
Yep, I would say the most confusing part of my life was when transit Neptune squared my ascendant in Gemini.
right.
It went over my Mars, and that's when I left college. I ended up dropping out because I had a very disappointing, confusing like college experience. So then
Mm,
I just started working, and then I didn't really know where I was going. And then thank God, like I've always been into astrology, but I never thought I could like do anything with it. And then TikTok
yeah.
obviously gave me that opportunity.
Bro, you are astrology. Let's just be real, like, you're literally astrology
No,
in
Sun
reading
conjunct
form.
Neptune in Aquarius, like, that's very astrological to me.
And Uranus especially, like, this is
On
insane.
the MC, yeah, very close.
So what that means, the MC in Aquarius ninth house means that you're a teacher of astrology. You're a teacher of knowledge.
Mhm,
You're a scientist. You're someone who is here to advise and counsel people on extra dimensional affairs about science, specifically the
mhm,
stars, specifically astrology. Uranus and Neptune now gives you the Uranian Neptunian power aliens. So Neptune power aliens can ascend, be mystical, dance a sacred dance, easily access the astral plane, easily access other dimensions. You can assist the dying and crossing over. Uranian power, you can channel higher frequency beings, form higher conscious communities, connect to the future naturally and easily. You literally know the future, and it's just going to be a knowing. You're going to
mhm,
literally, Sagittarius will see it, and you got Pluto here, but you just know it. And the thing that you have to be careful with, you don't exist according to science. Just so we're
mhm.
clear. Like according to science, you only exist in fantasy. Like you're a literal alien god. So like
Yeah.
seriously, it's
I feel like I can go invisible sometimes.
no, but you can. Neptune will literally cloak you in invisibility just
Yeah.
by the thought. And so I have Neptune and Uranus on my moon in Capricorn. I'm like the 1990 version of you. But
Yeah.
I'm let's just say like we're model cars. I'm like the original car, and like you're the advanced version that has flying wings and can like teleport.
Flying cars, flying saucers.
But right. It's like y'all like our version, we can go anywhere on the earth. Your version, you can literally like go into different star systems and galaxies.
That's the dream. I've always wanted to, like, talk to aliens, you know what I mean? Like,
No,
channel
but
them.
like you do. No, but like Uranus, Mercury, Sun, there's not a time you're not channeling aliens.
Yeah.
It's just since they're extra dimensional frequencies, Saturn and Jupiter are coming into making you aware of how you've always done this because your sun is a literal like frequency emitter through your spirit, and then Mercury is the way your brain processes information at Aquarius, which is
Mhm,
connected to Uranus. And if you're a genius, like you're thinking outside the box, but you're connecting extra dimensionally through Uranus in its dignity in Aquarius with otherworldly beings, but you ground the experience with people here down in 3D.
mhm.
So you literally talk to people's higher selves, and now they feel more advanced. They may not realize that's why, but the Saturn square in the 12th is what anchors the karma of this higher awareness. It's just that could be very challenging because Saturn is going to inhibit how much you believe in what you say, outside influences that just outright call you crazy. I'm not gonna lie, because you're so advanced that what you're bringing into these ethers haven't even been established yet. And
Mhm.
Neptune can veil you to yourself, where Neptune is literally showing you the astral, the knowledge of the astral. And whereas with the Capricorn power, Capricorn is a cardinal action sign. So, like, you can pick your nose, and I will just pick up so much insight about you psychically that's not
Yep.
linear. But you have this in Aquarius. So, people don't have to do anything. You already know. You already know.
We
Nigh on
naturally know.
the aspect of the superpower. What was that?
I just saying we naturally know.
Seriously. And now seeing that your rising is in Gemini, this makes you an angel. So as an angel, as an angelic being, you have the vibration of the artistic celestial or the balanced celestial
Mhm,
or the the classic celestial. There we go. Or the
mhm.
classic high king, because Aquarius is high nobility. And so this is cool because you have an individual true personality, you have a social soul, and you have a collective spirit. So as an individual angel, you are a social collective celestial king, in that you're receptive to the social nature of interactions and the actions people take and how that makes them who they are, and you apply that to the entire collective and how you express the knowledge for the entire collective. But you being on the MC makes you a public figure. In the ninth house, it makes you a teacher. Did you have any
Yep.
questions?
So sometimes I feel almost too much Aquarius, like, because I do have the South Node in Aquarius and everything. So I feel like
Oh,
being
yeah.
on TikTok and like having like an audience, which is very like my North Node Leo to me. I feel like sometimes I have to like because I'm a Libra moon, I have to balance the Aquarius with like the Leo. And sometimes I really struggle to do that because I feel like I just have so much Aquarius going on.
You do. Oh my gosh. And I love that you said that because uh as 1990, we have North Node in Aquarius. So we're literally opposite. So it's our destiny to get off the Leo throne and to network with
Yeah.
other. And so
Yep.
that might be your place of compromise. Maybe you might be tricking yourself to believe, oh, I don't need the spotlight. I just need to share this knowledge to other people. And it's like you're expressing your skills, but your destiny is to take all this network you have and to express your skills in the spotlight. It's not as simple as just being in the spotlight. Your
Mhm.
destiny is to inspire people with this knowledge you have. So I can kind of identify with it because once again, I kind of have this opposite here. But basically, the North Node in the third house is your destiny to speak up about what your heart wants to speak up about.
Yep.
And the trick here, the challenge here is to not get out your mind, but to have your mind support your heart's attitude because the Aquarius already knows. And so the Aquarius will sometimes do what it can to take what you're saying and make too much sense of it. But it's not about making sense, it's about using that knowledge to align the strength of your heart so that the third house north node, you're supposed to speak up about your ideas and attitude because people are supposed to hear it, but you're using the higher aquarian knowledge and philosophy to now express the talent of those skills, if that makes sense. it's
Yep.
like it's like you came into this lifetime with a religion, with this higher philosophy of knowledge, but your destiny is to break it down in creative bite-sized chunks that are fun.
Which I
And
feel like is totally TikTok, little
exactly.
bite-sized fun.
That's exactly it.
Yep.
But you have to perform it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Perform, yeah, I love and I always like when I was growing up, like people they used to my family used to put me in little Christmas shows. Like I've always been
right.
in like this performance and I'm like why am I surrounded by people who want me to perform? And then I realized it was kind of preparing me for this time in my life where I am going to be like expressing myself.
And I appreciate that because as a South Node Leo, like I always used to get casted in school and plays. Like I was Ebenezer Litterbud.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize, oh my gosh, Saturn Moon, I played like Bah Humbug. Like I didn't even realize like these
Yeah.
these things. Right. And I just always been expressive and I didn't realize, oh, I'm supposed to use that for Aquarius to creatively express this knowledge. And I just kind of wanna because I've been hesitant to get on TikTok. I'm definitely gonna like be more active on it. But a lot of the a lot of the I've been more skit heavy, but I'm stepping more into the formal teaching, building a university, whereas you have that
Yes.
too, but you're stepping more into the creative aspect of it, which the more fun you have the better. Because of you, man, because of you, bro, you're gonna inspire people to actually look at astrology, aliens, magic in ways that are actually practical and fun instead of just like out there and just weird.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Because I feel like the Saturn in Taurus part of me, it squares my chart ruler. That's very prominent in my personality too. I want to be able to like ground all these ideas I have, put it into some kind of like form. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is very amazing because once again, a large facet of how you personally tap into this energy, Aquarius is the cosmic energy and Taurus is the natural energy. This goes such a long way towards challenging you to ground the philosophy of this advanced knowledge
Mm-hmm.
and release outdated fears. that get in the
Yep.
way of you, really, because I feel like the Saturn Taurus is unconscious to you in the 12th, where you'll see it as an aqua, but as a Gemini rising, this could be the old bent of, you know, fears that don't want to accept your celestial nature because of
Mhm.
how it's not as simple as that though, but it really goes because this 12th house Saturn is not bad at all. It's actually one of the dopest, it's one of the most legendary parts about you. The
I've
karmic effect,
never understood it. It's so 12th house is just so hard to comprehend.
because
Like,
it's unconscious. And
yeah, like it's the only thing that doesn't play out like in my reality. I feel like it's
right.
all in my head. Like,
The way this works
mhm.
too is like this is like grounded karmic energy. So like you can walk down the street. Someone who's walking behind you would see it. It's like every light you walk past turns off, but you don't see it. It's not,
Mhm.
it's behind you. So there's a whole light show happening, but you don't even see it. It's
Yeah.
like and meanwhile you're thinking, "Damn, I wish I awakened my psychic powers." And it's like they are awake. It's just so
Yeah.
it's just
I feel like I'm just remembering like when I learn stuff too. I'm also my sun is right on top of my south node. I
right.
don't know exactly what that means because I know K2 is not necessarily bad, but I heard it is like an area that you've just done so many times it becomes redundant.
Done it right.
Um so but I
Well,
always feel like I don't know. I've always felt like what is that my sun being right on my south node mean? Does it have anything to do with like past lives or
absolutely. I have one of my friends who was born 1990, a soulmate of mine, is a Leo. So her sun is on the
Mhm.
south node. And basically you're the vice captain of your destiny group. So the weekend is born in 1990 and he's an Aquarius. So he's the captain of our destiny group. Leo is the captain of y'all destiny group, which means
Mhm.
as a celestial, you're supporting the solar kings and queens to fulfill this 2000s destiny. So out of everyone in your year, you're the plug. It's like people will come to you for the right. You hold space for that past life knowledge because all of y'all come from the ancient future. Let's just be clear on that. Like you're not from here. And the South Node Aquarius is bridging this advanced knowledge from far, far, far in the future.
Yeah, like future lives.
Yes.
Yep.
And so it's not the same as coming from the ancient past, going to the future. Like North Node Aqua, we're going to the future, but y'all
Yep.
come from there. So that's why my mom, she's born 1962. She's North Node Leo as well. We've always been in each other's lifetimes. That's how it works when the North and
Mhm.
the South. So your son on the South, you're bringing all the talents of networking and communicating knowledgeably in order to fulfill this. But with Neptune here, it's also making you aware of where you come from, who you
Mhm.
were. And it's not going to be in a, that's the square to Taurus. It's not going to be in a, oh, I come from 1673 and I was a sailor. No, it's not going to make any real sense because it's out of this world. It's so advanced.
Yeah.
It encompasses beyond time and space. And
Yeah.
that's the knowledge you're bringing to this construct.
It's trippy. I feel like I'm having like existential crises every day.
Especially because you're now experiencing yourself solipsistically through everyone else. And
Yeah.
the Saturn square doesn't want you to develop some unnecessary God complex. And then the trick is learning, oh wait, it's not a God complex. I am fucking God. Boom. And
Yeah.
specifically at this level, you are representative of the upper echelon gods in the council where you are forming a home because your IC is in Leo. So you're
Mhm.
bridging all this success to really create a creative space where you can develop your awesome skills as an angel.
Yes, I really wanna bring like, I really like, astrology is something you can easily just, like, you can make content based off of, like, trends and what's already been said, but I really wanna put some kinda, like, creative twist on astrology.
What's your TikTok?
It's called JoJo Astrology.
I'm following you right now.
Absolutely, thank you so much, I love you.
No, I really appreciate that. I wouldn't even mind inviting you on a peace talk on my channel to
I would
interview.
absolutely do it.
25.4. Oh, I see you. That's awesome. You're killing it. So here's the deal, man. I know you found me on YouTube, but like I'm talking to a celebrity right now. You're gonna be huge. It's literally in your destiny. So
Yeah. I've been honestly though, I've been like very in I don't know if it's because I'm going through my Saturn square exactly right now, but I've been kind of just in a very insecure place. Like my work hours are making me feel like I can feel my bones in my body like so much stronger. Like I just feel older. And
yeah,
I feel like I'm losing vitality a little bit, and that affects my ability to create things.
yeah,
Um, so I guess I'm also looking for like remedies for because I also have always felt this blockage in my throat chakra, and I know that Taurus kind of rules the throat and Saturn's like restriction, and I
yeah.
have trouble like I it's really hard for me to sometimes just like come up with words to say where it's going to make sense. Like I don't know, and I've also had a lot of acne on my neck lately. Something about my throat chakra has always felt a little messed up, and I'm also a smoker, and I've been wanting to quit. And
Okay,
we have this the South Node, which is going into Scorpio. That's going to be in my sixth house, so
yeah.
I'm really hoping to quit smoking because I honestly feel like it's
Cigarettes.
blocking thing. I vape, no cigarettes.
Okay, cool, 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 cool. And it's tobacco vapes.
Yes.
Okay, you'll be able to kick it. And yeah, Saturn in 10th is a lifelong block. Saturn 12 is a lifelong blockage that you're gonna unlock. Once you're
Hmm.
all you're waiting for is your Saturn return. And this seemingly weakness will be the strongest part about you because you'll fully understand it. And what it's doing is it's anchoring the strength of your own spirituality to ground it. But because it's the house of undoing, this is going to be unconscious fears and limitations that will have you stubbornly stick on to unconscious habits and take away from you being the Gemini rising that's curious and that's able to just adapt.
Yeah, because I feel like I can get very lethargic when I get into that Saturn like
Yeah.
nature.
And that's because it's a superpower. So once you overcome it, it's legitimately a superpower and you're able to manifest like that,
Yep. Yep.
which
I
you're
also
just going to get out of your way.
I've hated change, and I don't know if that's because I'm a fixed sun square fixed
Right.
Saturn, but like
Right.
overcoming change is just like I can also be very attached to people
Hmm.
too. And I'm still trying to get over that. I mean, I'm a triple air sign, so
Right.
I'm intellectual, but I also can cling, and I feel like that has held me back too.
I think a lot of that is the Mars in Pisces and the Venus in Cap too, as well, which is
Oh
interesting.
yeah, absolutely. I feel like I'm born on a Tuesday, and I feel like my Mars in Pisces has always held like it's a big part of my personality.
Mm, that's awesome. So, I mean, personally, um, Saturn here, as you really, because that square is just going to challenge your ninth house belief, the knowledge of beliefs, the knowledge of your philosophy. It's going to be that critical element that tries to undermine it. And you want to make sure Saturn serves the sun and not vice versa. Um,
Yeah.
once again, the more you release, the better, because this is unconscious. So it's not always gonna make sense why you even kind of sense certain things. But this is the grounding of all that. If you didn't have this, you'd be too electric. And so Saturn grounds through your unconscious all this cosmic lightning and electrical energy through your body.
It's so funny you say that because me and my sister are both Aquarians,
Mhm.
and we've been like we always get like static shocks from like each other or like from things. Like my sister was also electrocuted when she was like a baby.
Wow, that is so Aquarius. I'm done.
I know, right, bro? And my hair sometimes looks like I've just been electrocuted too. It just flies up.
Your sun is in the decan of Uranus, which is awesome. And for what it's worth, you actually do have the ability through your spirit and life force to conduct cosmic lightning. So I have third house Gemini sun and it's subruled by Uranus. So I can in the second house manifest magic electricity. but
Yeah.
you're actually summoning actual cosmic lightning. It's a subtle difference.
Mhm.
And it's strong. Mine's magic, so it might be weaker, but yours is actually strong. And it definitely it's something that if you think RPG, you can summon this, but it's something that it's hard for me to speak on because y'all generation is the advent. I don't know if you've seen Chronicle, but y'all generation is the advent of showing the world supernatural abilities. So
Yep.
Pluto, right? Pluto in Leo to Scorpio, we have shown the world psychic abilities,
Mhm.
clairvoyance, law of attraction. Like we all got abilities in this beat. But
Yep.
y'all are Pluto Sag. The reason why y'all are the advent of the new age, remember, we're entering your new age. So, like, out of everyone in the new gen, you're the high king. You sit on council with the
Yep.
other Aquarians. Y'all are the only ones that know anything. The rest of us think we know, which is hilarious. I love it. In fact, the ninth house is also comedy. So you're someone who's going to innovate comedy. And
Oh, yeah, yeah, and you know, the thing is too, I've associated the sign of Sagittarius with, like, the Joker.
yep.
Like, I don't know, and my initials are JK, and, like, Sagittarius is, like,
That's
my is my and Sagittarius is, like, my 7th house.
right. And I want to talk about that because you have Chiron and all that there. It's definitely very controversial. Just to kind
Oh,
of speak
yeah.
Right, just to kind of speak a little more to that, there's high significance, right? So the nature of your comedy is going to be strange. It's going to be weird. It's going to be so advanced. Capricorn, I have ninth house Capricorn, so I'm more a dry humor. But
Mhm.
Aquarius is so advanced. It's so out there. It's a little bit cringy, and that's what makes it super funny because
Yeah?
what you would say, like many Aquariuses, is over so many people's heads. Like maybe only two people in the crowd will die laughing because they're the only ones who get,
Yeah.
which
That's
is
exactly the type of humor I like. Like, only the real ones know, or
only
if
the
you know,
real
you
ones.
know. If you
It's
know, you know.
Yes, and it's actually the highest level of comedy here. The strongest level in Aquarius. Pisces is maybe a higher level a bit, but Pisces is mutable, so it's literally hit or miss. This Aquarius,
Mhm.
it doesn't miss. It's on its target all the time. But
Mhm.
it's also like literally alien humor. It's
Mhm.
humor that if you were to tell aliens, they'd all die laughing. If you were to tell humans, they'd be like, "This is kind of fun. I just don't know what he's saying." But so yeah, but because of the innovation here, you're going to innovate the field of astrology. You're going to innovate and pioneer humor. You're going to innovate comedy. You're going to innovate anything you touch. It's like the
Mhm.
Aquarian version of the Midas touch, to be
Mhm.
honest. And in the tarot, Saturn and Taurus is the Seven of Pentacles. So once again, Pluto and Sag finishes out of Pluto Scorpio. And after Pluto Scorpio, Saturn came out of Pisces. So the Saturn Aries Pluto Sages, they created the new world and they sparked the new concepts. The
Yep.
next ones up are y'all, Saturn Taurus, who builds and grounds based off of what Saturn Aries sparks,
Yep.
especially seeing that you restart the Jupiter cycle in Aries. So y'all really get the wheel going. And Pluto and Sag, y'all are the first generation to show the world supernatural abilities on a god level.
Yep. Sag
Tele-
is the first god sign.
Exactly. The first collective god sign, levitation, flying,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? High speed travel. And
Yep.
Aquarius correlates to ages after 40. So there's no rush to this, but you're
Mhm.
already experiencing it now. It's just the Saturn return that's going to return that strength. And the Saturn return is needed because it needs to coral all the decompression of this natural energy so that you don't short circuit your body. You know what I'm saying? Trying to teleport
Yeah. I
or go.
have very yeah, I feel like my nervous system has been very, just like, on a high lately. I have a lot of anxiety.
I'm glad you mentioned that too, because a lot of that will kind of release once you get your Saturn return because you're a collective entity and celestial. A lot of that anxiety comes from tapping into literally every mind in
Mhm.
existence, or at least around you. And that's not something that we're taught to be able to process because, and I don't want to really fault our education system,
Mhm.
but like, we're a lot of how we're taught dumbs us down. So the ruler of your entire chart, Mercury, is in between Uranus and the sun. And so like your mind processes information extra dimensionally. Your mind is
Mhm.
literally tapped into the causal realm and a higher causal faculty. So you're aware of everything in 3D, but your mind is tapping into the past, present, and future of what is meant to happen and the knowledge before things even happen.
Mhm.
And then Neptune is going to literally intuitively show you the knowledge of the transcendent meaning of what's occurring even beyond this realm. And that could be through seeing literal signs. A Neptune aspect like this is, thinking about apple pies, and then your friend calls you and is like, dude, I need to give away this apple pie. Like, do you want freaky, crazy shit? And that's an extreme example, but like this is really going to enable you to process genius at a higher extra dimensional level, to where you will be more aware of your communication with these abstract beings like never before. As soon as Saturn really anchors this, Saturn by February will be on your Uranus and MC, and that square to your Saturn, it's frustrating how much you release outdated beliefs now that you've evolved this philosophy of yourself.
Mhm.
And so the North Node that went through Gemini unlocked the angelic nature of your personality,
Yeah, it went right over my, ascendant
yep,
not too long ago.
which is awesome. And Pluto in the seventh is the awakening you trigger in others. With Chiron, you may trigger the crap out of people without even wanting or trying to, because of how you show them your vision. The
Yeah.
wanderlust and wildness of Sagittarius can sometimes be too much for people. With Mars, that will trigger this in the abstract ways you take action. So this could be indirect. This could be indirect, but you actually awaken and heal people in partnerships. You ascend
Mhm.
their perspective into making them conscious of maybe unconscious habits or limiting beliefs that block them.
Mhm.
So it's interesting to see Chiron smack dab on the DC with Pluto. It like
Yeah.
highlights deep wounds. I mean, deep wounds would be more Scorpio, but it highlights, philosophies or aspects of beliefs. And the way this is going to work, because this is perceptual, it's going to attract a lot of skeptics. It's going to attract a lot of people that really have a problem with you because they don't want to believe in what you're saying, but what you're saying is so true. You know what I'm saying? Like the moment they doubt it, they see a synchronicity and they've convinced themselves it's a coincidence. You, Sagittarius, show these people in their face what they're resisting.
Yup.
And it's like you awaken that ascension of magic for them. So
Mhm.
the more they resist it, the more powerful it's going to be. And
Mhm.
it's not even about proving things to people as much as it is just facilitating what they need to see at the time. Because Chiron is going to bring up anything that they have to in that moment. And that's just something to keep in mind. Because if Chiron was on the first, this would be more healing yourself. But this is more healing the adventurous nature of partnerships that allow you to completely transform who you're with. And I actually have Pluto um, in Scorpio in the seventh. So this article will
Yeah.
show you it's actually called a Pluto shadow. Pluto shadow aliens tend to form partnerships or marriages with individuals who take them into a sort of underworld experience. The Pluto shadow alien may describe how he was swept off his feet, deftly courted and seduced. Once secured in the underworld, the partner shifts from worship to humiliation, seeking out the alien's vulnerabilities and often using knowledge of the same to destroy the alien's ego. So you're gonna attract people who are fucking obsessed with you, but
Yeah.
especially in a wild, passionate way. And this could even be in a platonic friendship setting, but they may not always be direct with how that happens. And that obsession may be more so for what you show them and how
Mhm.
that how and of course this can also be in the house of open enemies. You may just always attract haters. But not I mean not see I don't want to say that because that doesn't mean you don't attract really cool people too,
Mhm.
but you could just attract people who play contrarian. You know what I mean? People are just
No,
always,
absolutely, yeah.
and this isn't even a bad thing, but it's something that you'll overcome as a challenge. The square to Mars is going to bring legitimate fears because now Mars in Pisces is you taking this abstract, imaginative action that, based on other people, can really not always make sense to them. And so
Mhm.
it's almost like, damn, like you just want to make sure you don't hold back and you just harness that intensity because this will also indicate some sense of sexual healing and also the ability to bring courage into your own sexual expression. Mars and Pisces works really well for like martial arts, tai chi, that kind of stuff.
Yep. I did a lot of gymna
I'm sorry, what was that?
I did a lot of, like, gymnastics and karate when I was younger, and then I stopped doing sports for a while, but I do like, I feel like I do a lot of stretching and yoga because my body gets tired very easily.
Oh, that's deep. And I think it goes a long way towards interesting. Your body gets tired easily.
Yeah.
That's definitely the Taurus. So I feel like
Yeah.
Saturn and Taurus is siphoning a lot of energy from you to just like consume.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah,
like
it
implement.
does.
It also will kind of indicate hidden enemies, maybe through career, maybe like resentment that a boss or coworker may have because you kind of make obsolete what they want you to do.
Yes.
Like you can do work in like a third of the amount of the time, and then Saturn in the 12th is like, well, you got to be busy anyway, and you're like,
Yeah.
but I don't have to though.
Exactly, if I can choose to do nothing, I'm gonna do nothing.
Right. And that can be seen as laziness when really you work smart instead of hard. You work
Yeah.
hard, but you work smarter than you work hard, let's just say,
Yeah.
which is awesome. So did you have any other questions so far?
Yes. So I have the only that I've been like thinking about a lot is I have Pluto, which is gonna go into Aquarius soon. That's gonna hit my Sun South Node Neptune
Yep.
conjunction first.
Yep.
And I just really want to know like what I should be prepared for or like possible like remedies. Like that's just a lot. That's hitting a lot of points at one
It
time. You know what
is.
I mean?
You definitely, and you can't even ask Capricorns how what they went through because what they went through versus what y'all go through is night and day. Not even the same. It's totally different. It's totally different.
Yeah.
So Pluto in Aquarius is the awakening of the celestials. Y'all, through you, basically this is the ushering in of the beginning of the end of the new age of Aquarius. And so the
Hmm.
Pluto on Neptune. So when Pluto went through my Neptune and Uranus, it awakened my psychic powers. But this is going to awaken you. You want to think that Neptune and Uranus is a collective hub and source of cosmic energy intuitively that everyone in your
Hmm.
generation has. And so,
Hmm.
whereas our generation, the Capricorns and the Scorpios were the hubs, now in your generation, the Sagittarius and the Aquarians are the hubs. And so, as an Aqua Sun, you're the cosmic plug. And basically, anyone in your generation, you're going to activate and stimulate this nature of abilities. Anyone from that generation who sees your TikTok, boom, you're going to activate that for them. They're going to see it. They're going to have synchronicities. It's kind of like
Hmm.
Capricorns with me, who had the Neptune and Uranus, like they kind of stimulate that. So Pluto is going to awaken the true nature of this. This is going to be when the supernatural ability goes in overdrive because third house to Sagittarius is now activating a sense of your abilities through this.
Hmm.
And not only that, it's going to awaken this sense of adventure and philosophy towards sorting through the knowledge of how you ascend. So once Pluto goes over Neptune, all the psychic junk you've picked up from others, it's cleared. It's going to go over the sun. It's going to awaken more of this. It's going to be such an intense period. I think around this period, the intensity you're going to face is going to be actually, you and I will both be facing this, where millions of
Hmm.
people are giving us attention. That's the intensity of Pluto. The coolest thing about Pluto going through the MC as well is you kind of become infamous. It kind of makes you a villain,
Yeah.
which is super awesome. It's like Pluto comes through and you expose the bejesus out of those out of integrity. It's happening through you. And so the
Mm.
Saturn square can cause people to hate you because of how controversial you are, but it's not a bad thing at all. It's not that everyone will. It's like the only thing better than being famous is infamous. So it's like you're taking this taboo nature of your reputation and you're using that to completely transform and awaken the collective through what you're showing.
Yep.
but this is going to definitively awaken every single one of your superpowers.
Pluto going over those points.
Yeah, it's also going to completely absolve and release any past life indicators.
That's what I was kinda thinking it was gonna do. Something about I thought it would bring up something about a past life.
Exactly. Most definitely. And it'll realistically put you in a situation to also powerfully, tap into and own up into this unique sense of yourself that activates like never before everything you've been, prepared to champion and
Mhm.
also prepare for. So it'll realistically open you up and prepare you to powerfully, it's hard for me to say the words because that concept hasn't been sparked yet. Saturn and Aries will come into the Saturn return and now spark these new concepts. So there's certain things you do that, like, I like to see Uranus and Pluto as like the frequency that is made that the teacher can't hear, but all the students can hear. So like y'all can
Mhm.
tap into alien frequencies that scientists will be like, y'all are crazy. Like this wasn't in our research. And y'all have to be
Mhm.
like, you guys aren't as psychic as us. Like you're gonna innovate.
Yeah. No,
And
I had a teacher in high school who knew I was into astrology, and she was like a science teacher, and she used to bring me at the end of class, she used to talk to me, and she'd be like, "Why do you believe in this? Like how can you believe in something that's not proven?" Like she would like hassle me on this, and I'm just like, "Oh
right.
my God." Like I just like I can't believe like a teacher could have like hostility towards me for like being into astrology. Like
And there's a deeper occult sense to that too, because ironically, it has been proven, but there's so much manipulation on, what scientists are acknowledged and then what other scientists are just not are censored really. So
yeah.
it's just lost on them the fact that everyone who's quote unquote disproven this has never in their life picked up a natal chart and can't tell you what any of these things mean. So it's just a bunch of ignorance, and this is what y'all are
For real, and I'm like, "You guys have never, like, picked up an astrology book or anything?" Because I did that when I was, like, 5.
gonna. Wow.
Like
That's so deep. And yeah, a lot of how you kind of teach and show it, it's gonna even innovate what current astrologers are doing. You're bringing a different twist to it. Really, really, there's an astrologer teaching astrology, and then there's an alien space god teaching astrology. Like one actually, like you're literally from there, right? So like you're giving us the knowledge like a celestial would, not like
Mhm.
someone in Earth studying the stars with. It's just so important because it's gonna actually put it into context. And given so much that's gonna shake and impact culture, you're going to help us kind of understand it in this new age way. Not new age doctrine, but like actual new age of Aquarius, age of knowledge and information way. And this is where Jupiter and Aries abundantly connects you and hooks you up with such amazing, raw, authentic friends, and how you kind of bring this abundance to such people as well.
Yup, I love that Jupiter in the 11th.
Very dynamic.
Yep.
And the Pluto trine will bring that intensity to abundantly expand how much more assertive and authentic you hold space in these communities. So 11th house is usually how you make an audience feel, and you rev that fire up. You know what I mean? You definitely
Mhm.
inspire them. So that expansion of Aries anchors into Taurus, and you're now in the threshold of overcoming that. The Saturn square from Aquarius to Taurus, like you mentioned, is you getting ready to let go of that phase of your job and step into a whole new career coming into the return.
Yup.
And so Venus that squares your moon is this receptivity to the integrity of heart that has who to trust and deal with others, because moon in Libra you'll be able to feel the character of someone based on social interaction. And in the Trine Aquarius,
Mhm.
you'll actually know what to say and who you're talking to. So like
Yep.
based on how people, communicate and take action, especially socially, you can tell the classic nature of who they are. And the square to Venus will now anchor that understanding with reading body language so that you can just know who's trustworthy in minute ways. But Venus in Capricorn isn't so much as troubling as much as it is stubborn in a Taurian way because you don't want your
Mhm.
time wasted. So this is going to, in effect, influence your social circle by discerning who has integrity and based on that, who you can deal with.
Yeah, and I feel like I've done that recently, like, I don't know, I've stopped talking to a lot of friends. I feel like I've had a lot of friendship karma
Right.
just in general, so
Which is deep and definitely goes a long way towards putting you in a position to very, very powerfully express yourself like never before and also make you quite seductive. This works really well with body language, but also with minute changes in how you feel into what people's bodies tell you, and
Mhm.
you can just glean so much insight. And so that's going to link even more powerfully with Mars in Pisces that will intuitively move you forward through the knowledge of your spirit. You want to think though that at your age, coming into 21, you still have the rest of this decade to now integrate fully this activation of so much of your gifts. And you want to take your
Mhm.
time with it because this is next level. So you are here to be a pioneer. You are here to be an innovator. All power to you and what you do. It's amazing how everything you teach in this Aquarian network will expand with Jupiter, and it's going to take you very far. And
Yeah,
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say my saving grace right now is while I'm going through this Saturn square exactly, I'm also going through my Jupiter sextile Jupiter exactly at the same time. So it's like it's just like it feels like a
Nice.
saving grace.
That's so awesome. I like how you said that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for real. So, concerning that, um, I just love how all this is happening now too, while we're ready to fully step into this advent of this new cycle. So, once again, it goes such a long way towards realistically understanding and anchoring this all. It'll definitely help you understand like never before the powerful nature, more so than ever, of what you're in a position to do as you come into this collective leadership. And everything will make so much more sense as you complete this Jupiter cycle. Saturn returns, Jupiter goes over Gemini in your first, and you come
Mhm.
around the person who you've been building to be, more ready than ever
Mhm.
to represent that moving forward. So, a lot to look
Mhm.
forward to. And
Yeah.
do you have any questions in closing?
My final question is just gonna be anything. What should I focus on for this Taurus North Node going through the 12th? Like, what should my focus be?
Oh, great question. So basically, what you're doing now is you're establishing the real nature of your spirituality. Now that you've
Mhm.
unlocked yourself as an angel, as an angelic being, right, as a messenger of truth,
Mhm.
you're now getting ready to use the resources of your pure behavior in Scorpio so
Mhm.
that you can manifest the real spirituality of it, so that you can release unconscious habits and so that you can really unlock and get out your own way with Saturn. Because this is going to really form the grounding upon which you can really take your career farther.
Mhm.
And that's going to, what you want to focus on is with Uranus that's transing your 12th, it's causing all Gemini suns and risings to come into radical isolation. And
Yeah.
the reason for that is once Uranus goes into Gemini, we're awakening our angel selves. Like we're flying, we have these vibrating wings. And so Pluto in Cap and Uranus in Taurus is downloading the information in our body to facilitate this angelic awareness, where now we have that NZT like consciousness, but all those neural pathways have to slowly but surely be built through this slow ass Taurus transit. And so
Mhm.
this is what is going to have you focus on understanding your unconscious behavior like never before. And you want to surrender to a bit of inaction and just allow this to unfold for you. The more you focus on what you love to do and really how you're fine tuning your own behavior and routine.
Mhm.
So you don't want to feel like there's a right or wrong way to do it as much as where you're led to. All of that is going to come out your 12th, and it's going to now go North Node in the Aries and take that spirituality to your collective, which will now help build your career. It's going to
Mm.
change the behavior around how you approach others and work and deal with others. And ironically, I think it might be good for finances too, just because of Taurus and how you kind of like change the way you work.
Perfect.
Beautiful. All right. So I'm going to send you this recording and thank you again for calling in.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael.
No problem. And we'll definitely keep in touch. Feel free to shoot me an email if you have any questions in future. And yeah, you stay blessed.
Absolutely. Have a good night.
All right. Likewise.